nothing. Wait, there it is. All right. No, you don't add your own captions.
I
Oh,
blame Justin too.
I was just saying we were.
I was just saying, I'm surprised to hear you say that, Ted, because it played behind you like 100 billion times at DreamHack a year ago. Yeah, I believe that was a year ago.
It's funny because I spent time checking everything on the stream today, but I forgot the microphone.
It happened.
Yeah. I mean, we even have the cats who have decided to leave.
They're all gone. Cool.
Yeah.
What do you think I pay you for, guys? Get over here. Fucking cats. That's a corgi. He's like, what? What are you doing?
Corgi cam instead.
That's a dog.
Ted, I was also saying that that's from the launch of the beta, which was long before the Steam launch. So we're overdue to, at the very least, edit it to put newer video in it. But I'd like to make a new trailer once we get the expansion in. Jesus, whoa, hold on. Once we get the tutorial in and then add the first faction wars, like single player stuff, I think we'll have some cool visuals to put into a new trailer and then launch that for when we have a pretty much completed game.
As he sips his coffee.
You have to refill it.
Oh.
You can entertain people in a minute while I refill it.
Whoops.
Um.
Happy February, everybody. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, I messed up my own hair. It's all like weird on one side.
Strange looking cat.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, Effie. They were all here, like before we went live, they were all in here, and then the moment they know that we're gonna start stealing their souls, they leave the room.
Obama.
He would never eat the cats. He doesn't have any teeth. Well, he has a few. He has a couple teeth. Not enough.
He's on a diet. No cats.
No cats.
Asking about your question. We'll let you know what. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
Fucking Santa Claus is back.
Oh, Jesus, Balfour.
Handing out subs.
Steve is now a subscriber.
Hi, Steve. Yes, thank you, Blood Rain, for making it rain. Appreciate it.
So here we are, another week.
Man.
I feel like every week of my life is just...
The same?
Yeah, it's just Doomtrooper and Corgis and Julie.
See you later, Ted. Thanks for saying hi.
Okay, come back. Cool. Thanks, Ted.
Cool. So, where do you want to start? February season rewards or...
Sure, go ahead.
I don't have the ability to change what's on the screen or anything
buttons
like
are right
that.
here.
I don't know how to work that thing.
Oh, is it scary?
No, it's not scary. I just don't know what all of the images on the stream deck go to.
Oh, boy.
So, show the nice people February season rewards.
So we're doing Cybertronic. Man, the picture's cutting off the one I want to show. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold the phone. There we go. Oh, what did I just click?
Wow.
Wow, what the hell just happened?
Everything all set up, and then you,
Now, this is like what happens when the server doesn't work. What is going on?
You freaking...
Did somebody just kill my server?
Did you just kill your own server?
No.
Sure.
No. Hang on, checking what the hell's going on here.
Does that say oh my ish?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you about yesterday. We hung out with Justin's sister, and Justin decided...
Oh, I know what happened. Alright, keep going.
You okay, though?
Yeah, card backs have to have descriptions. So this is just my machine screwing up because I tried to use a card back without a description that's not live yet.
Doesn't sound like it sounds like the only person who screwed up is you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Great.
Justin decided that he needed to get a skateboard this month. He's I don't even know how you describe Justin. He like has to always be like really, really busy, like all the time. And so last month and the month before, his new hobby was photography. So he got a camera. That was fun. He's already basically moved past that.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're using it right now.
Yeah, I know we are, but now we have a skateboard, so that's the new thing for this month.
The Rubik's Cube.
The Rubik's Cube was, a thing.
There.
And
I would like to point out that it is solved. She's acting like I'm jumping around without finishing things. The camera is in use. The Rubik's Cube is solved.
Anyway, so he got a sweet new skateboard. So we linked up with his sister and we drove down to the beach. And I didn't think I was going to skate at all because I'm just like not athletically inclined. I'm very clumsy. But she brought her second longboard nonetheless. And I actually managed to be just fine on it. I haven't been on a skateboard in like a decade since I moved to LA. And I was slower than those two, but I managed to like not fall. I managed to...
Oh.
Fuck Justin.
I scared him.
I managed to actually stay, like, never fall the whole time. I didn't fall once. Yeah, and we went like up and down the boardwalk, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa, blah, blah, blah. Actually, I think we were like Hermosa Redondo. And yeah, it was fine. It was a nice day out. The only thing that was kind of terrifying was the sheer amount of people that were just like hanging out in large groups. Like, again, not giving a fuck. The only reason you fell is because you started trying to like do things that like you either have never done or haven't done since you were like a
No, I've never done them.
Yeah.
So I can balance.
Thanks, Courtney.
Day one, I can balance on a skateboard just fine and move around and turn. I can pop the front wheels to do like a more drastic turn, like slowly, if I'm trying to do like a 180 to spin around. And I can jump off the board and then jump back on it while it's moving, which I think is a pretty good day one. But I tried to get a little crazy because we had a beer. Yeah, I never drink at all, but my sister went in to a place.
Never drinks at all, but was like, we need to get a beer.
Yeah, this is like the most like stuff we've done in a year. But my sister went in and got a beer to go, which is the thing now, and then we left and sanitized our hands. And yeah, I drank a beer, so I tried to switch my stance on the skateboard, and then while moving slowly, do a 180 back to the regular stance. If that makes sense. And I almost made it, but then I fell. So that was fun.
Whoa. Adjusting yourself.
Got to start with the taking. I think that's supposed to be talking. Anyways, yeah, that was an adventure.
That's about, yeah. Otherwise, we're having one of our cats is sick. That's about it for our whole life.
Tic tac.
Tac tac.
Willow's having a stroke. It's okay.
Girl, drink some more coffee.
Anyways, so
that's it for our social lives, and otherwise we just sit here in this room all the time.
Yes, ma'am. She takes direction. So one of my favorite card backs is available this month, the Cybertronic one. I absolutely love it. So, and we have a lot of players this month, so I'm eager to give a ton of them away. I haven't decided, for the record, if anyone's curious, when we'll bring these back as rewards. But the
ones that have already
ones that have already passed. But the original plan that I still plan on doing for card backs and season rewards is that all rewards are locked for 6 months. So
you mean they can't be taken out again?
If you get the Cybertronic card back in February, No one will be able to get it until August or September. I don't know. My math is +1 or -1.
Whatever, close enough. Till the fall.
6 months later. But then what happens is when you win, let's say 6 months from now we give away capital, for example, you could choose to take capital, or you can choose to take one of the older card backs that are 6 months old or older. So basically, like, the people who earn Cybertronic in February, they're the only ones who get it for 6 months. And then after 6 months, if you were just really bummed that you missed it, you could choose to go back and receive the old card back, which is something that I've not seen any of the other CCGs do. Steve and I called that the Diablo card back problem, because in Hearthstone, I guess for the launch of Diablo 3, they gave away a Diablo card back, and that's one of my favorite games. And I missed it. I wasn't playing Hearthstone during that time period. So now I will forever be without ever getting that card back, and it seems unfair.
Never.
A little bit. So in order to let people get stuff that they missed, there's just a 6-month cliff, and then after that, it'll unlock for people to achieve. So I think that's a cool feature.
Cool. So
the other card back is this one, the higher tier one.
So the higher tier is for the lower number, like if you're ranked 1 through.
That's how higher tiers work. And then here's next month capital.
That's
are also really, really bitchin'.
I really like that.
So props to Matt for doing these cool card backs, making sure that they're all going out eventually.
And then we have avatars. Boom, boom, boom. Where are they? The brain.
Yeah, that's been a requested one for a while.
Okay, that's really cool. I think the green one is a little cooler than the blue one. That's rad. Those are really cool.
Overwatch does seasonal events that you can get skins from previous years. So they probably do. Like, when I played MMOs, they did the same thing. Final Fantasy XI famously had a Santa hat that you could earn. And it would just let you wear a Santa hat running around. It didn't do anything. And then the next year, the Santa hat that you earned last year, if you didn't earn it, you could just buy it from a vendor. But there was a quest to upgrade it to the Santa hat +1. That have a white border and be special, and I think it like distributed holiday cookies that gave you a small buff or something, just like a novelty item. But you could forever buy the one that you missed, and then you could upgrade it through a quest. And I always really like that system. So I think that's the kind of thing that I want to do is seasonal rewards. Especially, you'll be able to earn in 2021, and then in 2022 we'll just sell them if you miss them and have a better one that you can earn, something along those lines. Yeah, the capital ones are really sweet. I think Matt got better as he was making them because he started getting more creative. Felt more comfortable with the layout, so that's fun. And then we got Willow's working on card backs now too, so she's got some really cool traditional card backs that we'll be using after the faction ones are done.
Thanks, Willow.
Thanks, Willow.
Cool. So, February season awards. Get on it.
You tell them, Julie.
Get on it!
Julie's like a little... I don't know what the word is. All the words that come to my brain are inappropriate.
Yes, keep them in there.
Yeah, okay. In charge. Julie's in charge is what I'm saying.
I drank my coffee.
Mm-hmm. What's next, Julie?
What's next? Oh, we are going to talk about what is thy bidding. Speaking of being in charge.
All right.
This is a controversial card. Sometimes things get put in the game and they're just big misses. I don't mean that in the female way. I mean they fall short or they just don't work out. So you're gonna have to tell the story of this card and what you're hoping for it in the future.
So most people already know this, but when we started Doomtrooper Digital, we flew, Steve and I, Modern Symphony 93, he and I flew to Wisconsin. Well, no, I flew to Indiana, we drove to Wisconsin from his house. And we met with Brian Linter, the creator of Doomtrooper, and we spent...
It's modem. It's modem. There's no R.
I feel like we spent a few days there, but now I don't remember.
I think you did like 2 days or something.
I don't remember where we slept, though. If Steve is paying attention, where did we sleep? I can't remember.
Maybe you were only there the one day and then you drove back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. But we worked with him with all the cards on the table, metaphorically and literally, and we stacked all the cards that we thought should be the base set. And then for balance purposes,
Oh, Steve is here. Hi, Steve.
a hotel.
Hotel. There
You don't
go.
remember the hotel at all. That's so weird.
You did
So
go
then
back
when we
for
left,
days.
Brian said that he would finish the balance and flesh out the factions and make sure everything was good for us and give us a spreadsheet. So I think like a week later, he delivered the spreadsheet and we started working off of that. So we put the spreadsheet into the format we needed for importing it into the game, and we started with that. Sometimes there's typos, for example. I found a card the other day. I think it's Psycho Scanner.
Is this in the game?
Yeah, so Psycho Scanner has this text. And if anyone plays Doomtrooper like classically, this is different from the second edition spoiler text. The second edition spoiler text is different from the printed card text. There are 3 versions of this card, and I don't have any knowledge to how the second edition changed to our edition. Apparently Brian just got creative on some of the cards. I'm not sure. And there was another card. I can't remember which one. Steve might know. But when I was going through it, I realized that it was the exact same text as another card. So when we were importing it, somehow Google Sheets messed up the paste and it put the wrong text. And that's happened in the past. I've actually implemented cards wrong because I'm working off of the work in progress spreadsheet. So anyway, what is thy bidding? This is basically the second edition rule set. And this card didn't exist in first edition. So the second edition that was never printed in English, at least, it was the card.
What's the third edition in English?
This is the third edition.
You are the third
Yes.
edition. Oh, okay.
So for every card you annihilate from your hand, draw 1 random card from your discard pile is basically the second edition text. And when this card is played, it's annihilated. So we patched that in yesterday or the day before. Date blur together, and time is a construct.
Minimally Friday, yeah.
So now this matches the second edition. But for some reason, when Brian made the spreadsheet, he changed it to allow you to draw from your discard and draw pile, and the card was no longer marked as annihilated, which could have been our mistake. So this card came out the way it was on our spreadsheet, and it just pissed everybody off. So
Pissed them off because it's too powerful?
yeah, because if you play What Is Thy Bidding and you annihilate cards from your hand and draw from your discard pile, then What Is Thy Bidding goes into your discard pile. You could then play What Is Thy Bidding again to draw What Is Thy Bidding out of your discard pile, and just repeat that process until you've cycled every card in your deck or discard pile. So basically it just lets you cycle indefinitely.
Got it.
So now that the card is annihilated after it's played, you can no longer revive it back into your hand from the discard pile. So it drastically changes it. And you can no longer draw from your draw pile, only your discard pile, which makes cards like Expedite Request more powerful by proxy.
Got it. Thorgal says, nerf, what is thy bidding?
We did, Thorgal, we did.
Hashtag nerf, what is thy bidding?
We did.
I think he knows. I think it's just...
Proof that I listen. Someone tell my wife.
Is Wisconsin nice? Is it? I don't know. I've never been. I don't know.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's just like a normal...
Very
I mean,
lucky
this doesn't
in the
mean
summer.
anything to you, but it's like a normal Midwest Indiana town. Like if you...
Indiana town, but in
Sorry,
Wisconsin.
American town. If you watch a movie about like small town America where
Fields and cheese.
somebody's dating their high school sweetheart and there's some drama at work and then maybe they get married and maybe they don't or whatever, like one of those rom-coms that takes place in small town America, like that's Wisconsin. It's
You're not wrong
well,
to think of making America.
let me finish though. Let me finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wisconsin also, to my knowledge, has more serial killers per capita than any other state.
Ed Gein.
Ed Gein was from Wisconsin. Jeffrey Dahmer was from Wisconsin. Making a Murderer was from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Who am I forgetting?
I don't know.
I don't know if you was from there, but John Wayne Gacy lived there. One of them was born in Indiana and then went to Wisconsin, I think, but I've confused. But you got Ed Gein, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, arguably the Making a Murderer guy.
Steve Avery.
Steve Avery. There's some other ones too. Wisconsin, like there's nothing to do but eat cheese and murder people.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. If you haven't seen Making a Murderer, anytime those families talk to each other, they just say, "How's your day?" "Oh, it's pretty good." "Yeah."
Yeah.
"Yeah."
Yeah. No, but in the
Yeah.
first season, that's how they answered the phone. They would call. They would show like the prison calls, and it would just be, "Yeah, yeah."
Any American serial killer is not from Wisconsin.
Oh, we have so many.
Ted
Come on.
Bundy, I believe, is not from Wisconsin.
No, he's not.
If you count Jim Jones, I don't think he was.
No.
Jim Jones had connection to Indiana, though.
What about like? Yeah, there's so many in California. Zodiac.
Zodiac was California.
Summer Sam is New York.
The Night Stalker.
Night Stalker. We just watched.
The Golden. What is it? The
Golden State Killer. Yeah, we got. Oh, Willow's on it. Yeah, we got plenty.
Yeah. Lots
Manson. Manson's crazy ass was from Los Angeles, or at least he was living here. So, whatever. Yeah.
Indiana does really well, though.
In the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah,
Wait,
serial.
the Golden State Killer is the same guy as.
Serial killer victims by state. Illinois has 629. Clear, like, that's a lot of deaths. California's the highest, though, but it's huge. In Texas.
California is a big ass state.
If anybody is curious.
Golden State Killer is the Night Stalker and the East Area Rapist. Got it. Okay. Got it. All right. Know this. We watched like every Netflix documentary on serial killers and everything. We just moved.
Wait, yeah. I wasn't sure about that. In my knowledge.
That's the old dude. That's the Golden State Killer, right?
Oh, is it?
Isn't it?
No. Joseph James D'Angelo Jr. is the East Area Rapist. Wow, he was also known as Night Stalker? An original Night Stalker. So original Night Stalker.
To the serial killer Richard Ramirez also being called the Night Stalker. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Richard Ramirez is traditionally known as the Night Stalker. So I was thinking that Willow was implying that Night Stalker and Richard Ramirez was the Golden State Killer. I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Got it. Okay.
Anyway, now that we've established that.
They were both called Night Stalker. Okay. He was a cop, of course. You know?
There's only so many cool names you can give a serial killer.
Are the same that were forces.
Wow, you sounded so ragey there.
Cool. Anyway, wait. Why did we talk about?
I don't
serial
even
killer?
know.
Wisconsin. What is thy bidding? Oh, and you going to Wisconsin, right? To talk about this. Okay, so yeah, the card went in the game. People realized its power. They were like, "What the fuck, Justin?" And Justin was like, "Sorry," and then he fixed it. So,
yeah, it's always fun when people are like, "I'm quitting until this card is nerfed." I'm like, "All right, I gotta fix it."
So dramatic. Just ask for it to be fixed.
Shout out to 21 Rick.
Jeez Louise.
He quit for a couple days, allegedly. I didn't actually check the stats if he actually quit, but he threatened to quit until his card was fixed. So, yeah. So next up,
Got some strong opinions, you know.
I want to know if people. I haven't checked the stats, but I want to know if
card.
people are playing Subterfuge.
This was the last trouble card, the one that
Yeah,
caused
because
people to get angry.
nobody has even mentioned this card in months since it was brought back. Like, I had even forgotten I brought it back because it's been so quiet. So, I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, I guess no news is good news when it comes to
Well, it could
a
mean
card like this.
it could mean that nobody's Thorgal move.
Come on.
Wait, I got a better one.
Oh.
I would say that Thorgal causes
Kidding.
just as much trouble for me balance-wise than Subterfuge and What Is Thy Bidding. Because Thorgal's part of the elite group that just wins all the time. So I have to keep my eye on him to make sure that he's not, beating the new players too bad.
Scaring them.
Scaring them away. But he's a good sport, so most people don't get too angry. I was actually gonna look up and see where Subterfuge is on the list.
That's the list, like, Etoile.
Subterfuge lives right in the middle. So that might mean we could make it a little more powerful. Like, we could drop it down to 1 action. Maybe more.
What is it now?
2 actions.
2 actions. Oh.
2 action. It is right above Nephirite Warlord. So it's used more than Nephirite Warlord, but slightly less than Weapon Link and improved Kratash? Kratish?
What's a Kratich?
The gun.
Okay.
Actually, it's right below Weapon Link and Fool's Gold, which...
Weapon Link's one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, I'm surprised. So that means it's probably still fairly balanced.
The number 1 card is Etoile Mortens.
Well, it's because we give away Bauhaus decks. So the top cards are
that makes sense.
Skewed towards the free starter decks that we give away.
Got it. That makes sense. Etoile.
So speaking of starter decks, one of my goals for the next update is to get Thorgel's other starter decks put into the deck browser, so that you will at least be able to add them by just coming in here and clicking a button. And you'll add them to your account, but it won't give you all the cards. It'll just give you the template, so it'll show you like what to work towards, and at least that might help people start to build other decks. The other thing I'm working on is getting the first version of crafting in, which will be rough. It won't have like pretty UI, but you will be able to destroy a card to gain crafting material and use the crafting materials to craft a new card. So those two things combined would mean you could come in here and say, oh, I want, this capital deck, boom. Then you'll see the cards that you need in the capital deck, and you'll be able to come in here and craft them.
Can we talk about the fact that I believe this is the first time that red is on the interface?
It's true. Willow and I actually talked about this the other day. This is just
like
a little test area that I had. Primary buttons are always green. Buttons that we want you to focus on are pink, and then we do have the red for like bad buttons, but it's very rare that we have like a negative connotation for a button, so we never really used it.
I kind of like the fact that destroy is in red. Because it's just adding some more color to the UI, but also because it's just the word destroy is like destructive and it's red. It's cool.
But it'll be nice because you'll have more templates to choose from, and you'll be able to craft. So between, if you were to purchase the pre-order and get 60 packs and then start playing the game and collect a few packs, you would probably have enough cards, if you were to just destroy like everything you have, to make a pretty awesome faction deck in one faction. Like, that's kind of the goal that I would like. When I first started playing Hearthstone, that's what happened, is I just went through and destroyed all my cards except my mage cards, and I made a pretty decent competitive mage deck. And I played that deck for months because it was decent, and I kept crafting new cards or buying packs so that I could try to improve that one deck. And then as you start playing, you start earning a lot more, and then you say, well, now I'm going to make a thief deck, or whatever the other factions are. I don't even remember. Rogue, thief isn't even a faction. So in this case, maybe you make a really great Algaroth deck, and then after you win a whole bunch and you earn a whole bunch of rewards, you are able to bring back a second faction. You start building towards that. And then suddenly, after a few months of playing, you have so many cards that you're able to build tons of decks, and then you're Thorgal. Don't spit up your coffee.
Thankfully, I hadn't sipped it yet.
No case.
I know, I was like, what is he looking at? Oh, nothing. Catnip down. I don't know why they're so camera shy today.
Yeah. Give the people the corgi instead.
Effie, what happened? They must have decided that it was time to nap instead.
Oh, here they come.
You called him? Hey, buddy. Hi, Effie. I could hear him sympathy meow as I sneezed earlier from the other room. Oh my goodness! The whiskers all used.
Hey, look, Barbie's here.
Oh. Whiskers.
Wow,
he's out of focus.
Cats just ruined the focus.
He walked by with his little whiskers and it focused on that. Oh my god. Now we can't see the dog.
All right, there we go.
All right, Effie, if you stay, you don't have to mess up the video.
So I'm working on the next update, which should have new deck templates, more info in the logs. I'm gonna start adding it to the UI, but if you die during combat, I want you to be able to at least look at the log on the left, the log in the debug menu, and see like, oh, the opponent had Slayer, or oh, they played this other card. Like I want to try to figure out what information I need to add to the log so that people are never confused why they died or why their card was discarded or whatever. Like that's big. And then I feel like once I get the logs good, then I can figure out how to apply that to the UI better. So it should have better logs, new deck templates, and the foundation of crafting, as well as a couple new cards and some change cards and stuff. So that's the gist of what I'm working on right now. There's probably more, but I don't know what I do with my notebook. It's in my backpack probably. Thorgal says, any new cards planned this month? Yeah, I mean, all of them. The complete base set is planned this month. Whether or not I will,
Honestly, Justin.
whether or not I will have time to finish it depends on how many other bugs you guys report in Discord. But I mean, the way I see it is at this point we're on borrowed time, so every card has to be done ASAP.
Barbie, I hope you're feeling better.
I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I mean, okay, but to answer Thorgal's question, is there any that you're like
Well, Thorgal says
gonna work on next? Like
Thorgal says, what bugs? I don't see no bugs. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but I was sharing yesterday with Julie and my sister that when I solved the malfunction bug, that was the last big bug that was always reported that pissed people off and that I wasn't able to track down. So as far as I know, as of now, there are no giant, lingering, long-standing, horrible bugs that Justin can't find. There are still a few bugs. I see them pop up, but they're smaller, or they're just little ones that I forgot. It's so sweet now without... Yeah, the malfunction bug I thought was going to be a problem with Invader's interrupts because his code has proved problematic in the past due to the complicated nature and him not being around to answer questions. But it turns out that I don't want to be too nerdy with my answer, but we assume that the target that a card receives when a card is played is just always the same. For example, some cards like miscommunication, we assume always get one target, like the card you're trying to cancel. It turns out, and I should check miscommunication now that I say this out loud, what was happening with malfunction is if you played it first, it was receiving one card, the card that you were malfunctioning. But if you played it second in combat, it was receiving a list of cards. It was receiving the previous malfunction plus the card that you're trying to target. Because of the way Invader programmed the interrupts, sometimes you need to know what the previous card was so you can cancel it, for example. So the first time it was played, it received one card. The second time it was played, it would receive a list of cards. And the game was expecting it just to be one. So it would try to access that card and it would explode because there was no card. There was list instead. So I have the fix was the check.
Programming is that specific, okay?
But the thing is that it wasn't a problem with the interrupt system and it wasn't a difficult problem to solve. I spent a lot of time because I was trying to find the difficult thing. And then I realized, shit, it's not difficult. It's just miscommunication basically between Invader and I and understanding how the interrupt system works.
Miscommunication.
Funny. So yeah, so it was just like a tiny little thing. You have to check to make sure whether or not you got a list or if you got a card.
Yeah.
A list of cards or one card.
Did you return a single item or a list?
See, Julie knows how to code now.
You need to... The
For-
program needs to know how to read that. They're separate things. A one item versus a list is different.
So for any nerds out there...
That's true in SQL and everything else too. Like,
wow, flexing your nerd cred. For any of the nerds out there, the proper fix here is to convert the entire engine to always return a list. Even if it's only one card, it will be a list of one card. then the code can just always
Back to see a list.
loop through the list and apply what it needs to in the right spot. And that'll be like a medium-term goal of mine. The same as we talked about in chat, Agent Nick Michaels is a very troublesome card. And rather popular, actually. A lot of people are using him. Gains the affiliation of the deck he is played in is the way we tried to solve it. But that is making people mad because he's supposed to be every faction. Which means if a card targets Cartel, it should target him. But then if he's being played in a Cybertronic deck, cards that can only be played by Cybertronic should also target. And when we made this game, because Brian decided to do one deck per faction or one faction per deck, the faction of a card is one item, not a list, as we were just talking about. So in the medium term there, I need to change the engine to allow faction to always be a list. Even though 99% of cards will only have one faction ever, the ability to make it a list would mean that Agent Nick Michaels could be Cartel, Imperial in an Imperial deck. So he would be affected by both cards. But
instead of card equals, it's got to be like card is one of many or within whatever. I know. I blanked out halfway through that sentence.
That's something that I'll be fixing in the future.
Change one of the following is what I meant to say.
And even though Brian didn't want us to do it, it opens up the ability for cards to have more than one faction. So we could say, which I think would be really cool for expansions, we could say, what is it, Edward Stoller? Can't remember his name, Edwin Stoller. He is joint in the game. He is half Bauhaus, half Dark Legion. So he could be played in either deck. He's like a double agent.
I was just going to say, he sounds like a double agent.
So we would be able to add cards like that again, which I think is a worthwhile investment of my time. But obviously, it's not the number one priority, so we have to get other stuff done. Also, you can see here, Willow last stream suggested the change to the keywords. So you should be able to see on the right. So keywords that he has are now green at the top. Keywords that are just definitions are grayed out. So there's a new visual change to try to, visual change to try to make sure that people don't think that he is a heretic. It's just defining what heretic is so that you understand when you're reading his text. The big example from last time was
that UI change, Willow.
Sean Gallagher. So now Slayer is in gray at the bottom to try to get less confusion that he is a Slayer right now. He's just defining Slayer.
Got a little cameo from our cat here. This is Mr. Bomber.
Yeah, Bama has been a little sick lately. He had surgery a little bit this week to get a biopsy to see what's going on with his
intestines and pancreas and all that. Yeah. He is shaved now in like 5 different spots. He looks a little silly.
What? Showing your butt to the camera, huh?
He's just standing on my fucking keyboard right now.
Also, somebody brought up a good point that I honestly had forgotten. This whole page system is a little bit antiquated. Having to search page by page. I kind of like the idea of being able to search with the mouse wheel. Somebody brought that up in Discord, where I would scroll the mouse wheel and it would go up and down. So you could scroll very quickly through your cards instead of having to go page by page. I think that might be really cool.
Yeah, Obama's a little sick. I don't know. We'll hear back to probably tomorrow on his biopsy results. It's been a tough week for us and him.
So I would like to make this scrollable, but I'm going to put that in a future update. I've mentioned before, like when you're editing a deck, I would like to be able to have 2 different views. This view would be the scrollable view that shows you all your cards on the right, and a deck view, which would split the screen and show you cards on one half that you are in your deck and one half that is not in your deck. So it would be like a drag and drop interface for deck building. That's been requested in the past. And that same interface would be used in the game when you're doing target select. I could split it and I could say your cards on the left, opponent cards on the right, which would make it easier to, if you guys are both playing Dark Legion, your heretic and their heretic, you'd be able to figure out a lot faster which one's which.
Hello, Grim Industry. Thanks for joining the stream.
When you have a bunch of cards in collection, you would probably mostly use filter anyway. Yeah, but there's something nice just about being able to quickly see your wealth, I guess you could say. I don't know. I think adding different ways to browse the collection just to appeal to different people's brains would be beneficial for me, because the less people that are confused or unhappy, the more players we get in the game. I'm also working on improving the matchmaking system. Now, you guys won't see any benefit to this right away in the first phase, but I'm setting the matchmaking up to be a proper loop. So right now, when it finds a match, it just throws you into a game. This change is going to mean it's going to find you a match, then wait a few seconds and try to find you a better match, and then put you in the game. And that'll be all configurable. Check X amount of times, check every Y seconds. So if I want to have 5 checks over 5 seconds, you'll always spend 25 seconds, for example, in matchmaking, which is bad, but you would get 5 chances to get matched with somebody closer to your level. So that'll be an algorithm that I'm starting to tweak. The other part that will affect you will be phase 2, will be that you can choose a casual game versus a ranked game, and eventually, if there are no ranked people and there are no casual people, but there's just you two, it'll match you together. But the casual person won't get the rewards or the rank effect, and the ranked person will. So that'll probably be like a temporary thing for our early access era, but that way we can make sure that if somebody is scared of losing their rank, they can still play multiplayer and not have to worry about, getting matched against Thorgal and definitely losing their, they could be 1 win away from rank 5 and they don't want to fall down. So they're scared to click the ranked button. So having the casual mode actually match people together should help with that, which is someone suggested that in Discord recently. So I always say this is a community effort to make the game, and a lot of these ideas do come from Discord.
Diffusidious.
Offer merge deck play options. Both players will have a chance to get the Aces gameplay. Diffusidious, are you Crux from Discord? No, you're not. Are you you're... Sometimes the names are different. I have to make sure I don't get people wrong. But either way, the merge... Oh, you are? Okay. The merge deck option is a really good idea.
Thanks for joining us on the stream today.
The problem with that is related to what I just said, is let's imagine I make casual play separate from ranked play, separate from event mode, separate from the merge deck mode. And you have 2 people who want to play. One of them goes into casual, one of them goes into your merge mode, and they both sit there for an hour waiting for an opponent. They're both looking to play, but they're in separate lobbies, and none of them will ever play against each other because they want to play different modes. That's the problem with adding modes too early. We already have a dead time from like after or evening Pacific time. Like the servers start to slow down, and a lot of
when the Europeans are
not
active.
When the Europeans go to bed and the West Coast people are trying to play, there's a lot less people playing. So if I split the game into different modes, we risk making it even harder for people to find matches. Now,
and then we get stupid reviews like,
oh yeah, people already, it's an early access game that's in beta that is advertising it all, and there's already people on the forum saying, oh, it's a dead game. It's like, it's not a dead game, it's not a launched game. Like, people are so whatever.
Hey Brian, what's up?
So there are ways to solve that problem. Like in the lobby, I could say, after 30 seconds, there seems to be nobody looking for casual play, but there's somebody looking for merge play. Would you like to do that? And if you click yes, it would just drop you into that lobby and play you. So it is a solvable problem, but it has to be done in the right order. Otherwise, we segregate our group too much. So
don't want to segregate the beta testers too much.
So Diffusidious, which I love that name. I don't know why. It just is fun to say. Diffusidious. That's why it's not happening like overnight, but it will happen in the stages as I fix the matchmaking system, because we need to make sure that people who want to play are always able to play and have the information given to them to find a match. Otherwise, they get frustrated and they uninstall the game and they never come back. So
I know, Brian. We're here at the end of the world on Pacific Coast time. The end of the day. The end.
It could be worse. You could be on
Hawaii time.
Yeah, Hawaii time.
Although they're probably so far at the end that doesn't even matter.
They're probably too busy on the beach smoking weed and relaxing anyway, so they're fine. They're not playing Doomtrooper.
They're like, listen to these waves. Oh, feel the sun. Oh.
So my usual goals are like fix cards and balance stuff as they're reported, add a handful of cards as close to every week as possible, and then do like one feature improvement every update. So it looks like the feature improvement right now is going to be logging to make sure that the combat and the crafting. I'm kind of trying to sneak two in, and then the next feature improvement would be what was I just talking about? Oh, matchmaking. Thanks, Julie. Nobody listens to me. So this week, blending into next week, should be crafting and the other thing. Jesus Christ.
Matchmaking.
Logging. Logging. And then the next update should be matchmaking, and we can start to see that kind of stuff. So that's true, Barbie, but it'll be easier once we have time to get this on mobile.
Let me tell you a story
Phone.
about Hawaii. We went to Hawaii last year for New Year's, and I brought my laptop with me because I was on call to send out the Coachella announce email. I brought that laptop all over Maui one day because it could happen literally at any time once the artist and their agents stop squabbling over whose name is where on the poster. Anyways, I did it. It was great. And then 2 days later, whenever we got back to the continental United States, my laptop literally went because I think I got grains of sand in my laptop. So it does have its dangers.
Dude for City says, I understand the small team constraints of development time. I match via Discord in most games, no rush. I ain't going away. Favorite card game of all time. Thanks again for bringing it to digital, and thanks to all the others who assist. See, those are the only reason that I keep working. Because...
Baby, no.
Oh, that's gonna hurt you.
Baby.
Yeah, I get so many, dead game comments and stuff from people who... I don't want to rant against the gaming community too much, but there's a certain type of person who, let's say, for the first half of their day, they're like, I'm so sick of all these fucking big budget games. They're all the same. They just use Unreal Engine and they rip off each other and they want microtransactions. And where's the innovation? Where's the fresh titles? And then, they finish their 30 games of Overwatch and they, after they're done bitching and moaning, they go and they try a new game. And then the game's not finished yet, or, it doesn't have a huge player base, and they're just like, this is a dead game, avoid.
Big sucky,
bad review on Steam, uninstall. It's like, okay, so you want innovation and you want fresh games, and you don't want Activision to keep microtransactioning you, but then you are a dickhead on Steam to the little guys. So, the game industry is what you make of it, and the community for Doomtrooper overall is great because some of them remember the classic game and some of them understand early access and some of them come into Discord and help improve the game. But
a lot of the folks here on this chat are those people.
Correct. But then there's the other side of the gamers trademark. Thanks Garrett. And they're just gonna complain that there's not enough girls gamers that they can meet, and then they're gonna make fun of the girl gamers on Twitch for being sluts and shame them because they're not real gamers. Same way that they're gonna complain that Activision is a greedy fucking corporation who just wants all their money, and then they're gonna shame the indie developers who aren't making games that are as polished as Activision. It's at a grand scale, gamers are the game industry's worst enemy.
Yeah, it's true.
But they're their own worst enemies, because there's that whole like Gamergate movement and all that shit where all these guys who don't get a lot of social interaction, they want to meet a nerdy girl who loves anime, who appreciates their RGB keyboards, and they can sit around and play MMOs with all day, but then they shame the girls who do and wonder why the girls don't like nice guys like them. It's like, stop.
Nice guys.
Stop being your own worst enemy and start supporting like non-cis white male gamers and start supporting indie developers who are trying to make the games you want to play, but it just takes us longer. Aisha Codes,
yeah,
to your channel. Thank you.
What? Hi, thank you.
She, they, him, person. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Thanks for following.
Thank you for following. You have the word codes in your name, therefore I like you. I usually do programming stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, but obviously I have a lot of pent up frustration, so I am taking some Tuesdays and Thursdays off this month just to get my life in order, my wife in order, my friends in order, my stream in order, everything. But we still do the Sunday streams where
Email coder.
we just hang out.
Very cool.
But yeah, coding is great. The game is JavaScript. I haven't said that today. Everything you see here is JavaScript. The backend is JavaScript. The game is JavaScript.
Mistakenly built by this one.
Yeah, it's my own technology that I have somehow crazily made. I don't know how I did it, but I did.
Yeah,
and
you know how it's taken years.
Yeah.
Years of our lives dedicated to this game.
So the streams are a little interesting, if only for that, is that the games are written in JavaScript, so that's fun.
React.js.
Also, side note, it's taken me over a year. I may have mentioned this last week, but I now found the code that decides who goes first. Invader hid it, nested deep inside functions in one little tiny line, and it's the end of the line that normally the editor is cut off and you can't see it. So I finally found the line of code that decides who goes first. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it has been a passion of mine to locate who goes first. I couldn't find it, and I put in a override. So, for example, now if I do a debug command, watch this fail now. So I want to test what is thy bidding, right? I should always go first. So I am overriding that setting now. Whenever I'm testing something, yep, you will go first, right?
Yay!
There. So what that means is I can enforce always that the tutorial goes first, which we had already, but it was a hack. And if we do special events where I want you to go first, I can say you go first. Hell, we could even make a card that says if this card is in your deck, you're guaranteed to go first. If both players have it, it's random. Like, we could do crazy shit like that if we wanted to. That'd probably be a pretty popular card. So I am very excited that I can... The small... You got to keep in mind, this is like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of lines of code. So the code for who goes first was lost. But I found it. So thanks.
Found.
Yeah. It's the disservice of having other programmers like Invader who aren't around to ask questions as much. So I just have to track it down on my own.
So are you done wearing the clear glasses? Are we back to the black frames?
It just depends on my mood, I guess. Oh, Garrett says asking where all the women are, not knowing they're muted in voice chat for reasons.
For reasons.
I mean, anyone who's heard me rant like in the past, I'm very much. I mean, I'm pro everybody except. I mean, Nazis and Gamergate, and I'm pro everyone who, as long as they're not anti someone.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Works. That works.
And that extends to like I think that non-nerdy people should play more games. I think that women should play more games. I think non-binary, non-whatever, like I think everybody should be playing video games because it's fun. And the more people that play, the more people that are in my matchmaking lobby. So I encourage everybody to be more supportive. And of course that extends to like I absolutely despise people who do any kind of like sex shaming, which is usually towards women, but it extends to like congressmen who sex shame like the gay community and then are like sucking dick in parking lots secretly and they get busted later, or
Lindsey Graham,
or the super conservative politicians who are caught sending pictures of their dick to people. Like, sex shaming is so stupid because everybody is watching porn and then telling everybody that, oh, I don't watch porn, I'm holier than you. That shit makes me so mad. And that extends to gaming, where it's like, oh, this girl's got big boobs on Twitch, like she's not a real gamer. Who cares? Boob size does not transition to game skills. So you could have small boobs, you could have big boobs, you can have no boobs, and you could be a good gamer, a bad gamer, a real gamer, or a fake gamer. It has no correlation at all. So I absolutely...
Thank you for saying that.
I absolutely hate that, because the same guys who are like, oh, boobs are bad, you're not a gamer, will close this Twitch stream and then go jerk off to the girl's Instagram.
Yes, they will.
The same girl that they just shamed.
They will. I can't imagine having that much of a, like, break in my head that
Like, I just have to like storm off and just be like, I'm so mad now.
I will insult her, and hopefully she'll see it and respond.
Yeah, like I just want to smack them. It's like
So misguided.
so many of my
So
friends
misguided.
and my acquaintances and people that I chat to on a regular basis are like quasi-famous, tons of Instagram follower, Patreon, OnlyFans style girls. And these dudes are like, how come they don't like nice guys after I shame them? It's like, dude, just be a nice person, treat them like a person, and make friends. They might be firemen, they might be models, they might be business people on Wall Street. Like, doesn't matter. Treat them like a person, and maybe you'll make friends.
One of the biggest red flags in dating profiles is when they call themselves.
I'm sorry, Barbies furiously jerk off. Furious.
Yes. Oh, she's just. I hate her.
She's not a real gamer.
No. Anyways.
Why would people go to Twitch to look at girls? There are better websites for it. Grim, I would say honest answer to that is those people have turned the better websites into not people. Like when they see those better websites like porn sites or even OnlyFans or Patreon, they see them as objects. But if they're mostly closed on Twitch, they see them as peers. They see them as, that's the type of girl that I want to date and be friends with. But they can't handle the fact that you could argue that some girls on Twitch and some girls on Pornhub are both sex workers. Like some of them might be gamers, might not be gamers, whatever, but some of them are on Twitch to promote
the titties.
And
that's true.
And if you go there thinking like, well, I this random fan of this Twitch streamer is gonna get her to go out with me, like that's just a brutal. That's not going to be good for anybody. But for some reason, I think a lot of those people, they leave, like, they humanize the Twitch people and maybe the people on Instagram, but the people on OnlyFans and Pornhub, they're no longer humans because they've spent so much time studying them. I don't know the proper way to word that right now.
Studying equals furiously.
But you're right. It's
off.
It's not logical. It's illogical. Like. Yeah, Julie and I 2-3 times have hung out with Jessica Negri, who's got like a bajillion, million, billion Instagram followers. I don't even know. Like, but like I've never gone in her stream and I've never like I would consider myself a fan, I guess, but like we've just run into her and mutual friends and hung out and like you just gotta like freaking be a normal human and it's not that hard. Anyway, that's what grinds my gears this week apparently is be nice to people.
Yeah, it's true. Yes.
Yes, real
yes.
Real gamers is gatekeeping. I mean, we can just stop there. Gatekeeping is bad. Stop. Like I thought about that when I stepped on a skateboard. I was like, who am I going to see on the skateboard who's going to make fun of me because I'm a almost 40-year-old guy trying to skate and falling on his ass. Maybe they're out there. I'm sure they are.
But it was really beautiful and nice out yesterday, and everybody was in a really good mood. I'll say that. Everybody that was out walking or riding their bikes or skating. There was a lot of people wearing like old school quad skates, like roller skates. They're like making a comeback. I don't know. It was fun. What?
Oh, I was going to say the last thing I'm going to say about this, like...
we're not done. Okay.
No, gatekeeping and everything is like... The last 4 years of my life making Doomtrooper, I've met a lot of really great people on Discord and in Twitch and at conventions. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I've got to meet like people that you would consider famous in the industry. And out of all those people, some of them have become acquaintances. Some of them have become friends. Some of them even work on my project. But like, I mean, you take Attic Space Games here in chat, like we've shared booth space next to each other enough times that we became friends. And we started a little like support group of indie game developers who need to support each other. And like, we've become this nice little group of friends and it's been great. And I remember I had a mutual friend with the guys who make filthy casual clothing. And we started seeing them at the parties and stuff. And our booths started being next to each other. And now I talk to the Filthy J almost every day because
Filthy J.
Yeah, I do. I do have a crush on Filthy J. But we have, turns out, like, everything in common. Like, yeah, we
It's true, actually. It's kind of freaky. You know what? So just
be nice and you grow this group.
Transitioning. I'm 38, unfortunately. But Heelys came out like way past like what it would have been age appropriate. And I remember that was one of the few things where I was like jealous. I was like, I don't know how old I was when I saw younger kids wearing them, and I was just, motherfucker, damn it. Like that would have been so cool to have when I was 8, but no. So I've never owned a pair, had a pair, but I have looked longingly at them and wished that I could wear them, but I was already like an adult or something. I don't remember, but.
Well, anyways, be nice to everybody else. You never know. You might make some new friends. You might meet some cool people. You'll get some great Instagram photos to post. Who's my brother obsessed with? Arrow art.
But that one chick at that one party.
What show? What show is
I don't
it?
know. Probably Arrow.
Yeah, I was at a party with an acquaintance friend, and we were all hanging out, and I brought my little brother there, and he ended up meeting, I don't even know, it was some actress that he was like super in love with, and it was just like a happenstance of meeting people who introduced you to somebody else, and I introduced my little brother to this girl who, he had a girlfriend at the time, my little brother, and they had that like conversation that a lot of couples have where it's like, okay, you get one free pass.
Right.
One free pass for a celebrity. Who's it going to be? And he was like, wait, it's McNamara. That's her name. Kate. I don't know.
I know. I don't know. She was blonde, and I think
Anyways,
she was an Arrow.
it was like, she's my free pass, he said. And then like a week later, he was at a party with me, and I introduced them. It was funny. They did not hook up, to be fair. But it was...
Wait a minute. Yeah. Baby.
I just thought it was funny that chain of events happened. So
thank you for following Kubalele.
Is that her?
Kubalele, maybe. I don't even know how you remember this.
Yeah, that's
I
her.
guess you never forget a pair of boobies.
No, I just remembered her name. This girl.
Sure.
It's just funny. Like my little brother's like 25.
Now, I mean, yeah, this was like.
She was nice.
Years
She
ago.
was nice.
This was like him being not 21 yet. I had something I was gonna say, but it's gone.
I'm done.
It's gone forever. I know one thing I was gonna say, but you interrupted me. Is that when people put "I'm a nice guy" in their dating profile, I'm like, pass. They're usually not.
No.
They're, yeah.
So yeah, Doomtrooper's a game.
Canada.
Thanks for hanging out. Last week I said I was going to try making vegan pancakes, if anybody was curious.
Well, yeah.
The first one was a little rough, but then the second one and the third one got a lot better. Turns out the vegan pancakes are harder to flip without breaking, which I guess makes sense because there's no real egg. But if you use enough butter, I got pretty good at like flipping them like a cartoon character.
We tried that thing we saw on
oh yeah.
you like flip the whole pan thing. That's today. Also happening today, we're gonna bleach Justin's hair, you guys.
Are we?
What? You don't know. So he has wanted the whole quarantine hair that's going on here. He has wanted to look like Kurt Cobain, and so Misty's coming over today, and she's going to bleach his hair. So we'll see what that comes out like. And also, I meant to say, Misty worked on Critical Role too. So like, for a long time, she was the makeup artist for Critical Role.
Yeah, she's like the only person that
like,
we've seen over the past 12 months, because her and her boyfriend Josh like are just like us and never go anywhere.
But yes, oh my God, yes, Barbie. Yeah, we're gonna bleach it. Now the key is to not have it come out brassy. Well, just because that's not good, but also he doesn't have like golden, like his I mean, he's almost a ginger, like you can barely see his eyebrows. But anyway, so it'll be an ash blonde or a white blonde. Hopefully it comes out good. Luckily he's a boy, and worst case scenario, we cut it off, you know? It's not like if you bleached my hair and it came out bad and it started breaking from like here, and you had to cry about it. Yeah, so that's a thing that we're gonna do, and hopefully it comes out good. And yeah, so, and if it doesn't come out great, we're still probably just gonna like manic panic it anyways. And no, he's not a ginger, but he's like ginger adjacent, if that makes sense. Like his, like, I don't know how to describe it. He's got fair skin, he burns really easily in the sun, like his shoulders are just freckles. Which is weird because he doesn't have freckles on his face, but I do. But whatever. And I tan. Yeah, thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers for your hair, babes.
Tots and
pears.
pears.
Don't you have tots?
So thank you.
We have garlic tots in the
Thank
fridge.
you guys for hanging out and listening to us rant about whatever I chose to rant about this week.
Doomtrooper.
And Doomtrooper.
We did mostly talk about Doomtrooper this week. I didn't even talk about WandaVision and how great that is.
Oh my god! If you guys aren't watching WandaVision, like, I'm very impressed at the way Marvel is like threading this weird, crazy, non-superhero. Like, I'd say for traditional superhero movies, WandaVision has had like out of 5 episodes, maybe 7 minutes of that.
Good, thank
Maybe.
God.
It's
So
I feel like I'm watching Lost. Like it's crazy. But yeah, so let's go watch Matano play a little bit. I'm gonna try making some more vegan pancakes. Thank you guys for hanging out, and as you've probably noticed if you're playing the game, you're gonna get us banned if you do that.
That wasn't what got her in trouble. It was the Alicia Keys tie-in.
Oh,
to that song.
Our friend Devin got banned off Twitch, even though she's like huge, because she sampled Alicia Keys.
When people follow her, you know how people have
it's like a
things
song that
do?
plays, and there was a DMCA or whatever complaint. Anyways, I'm not really doing the Monday updates right now. I'm kind of pushing, like I pushed like 3 updates last week. I'm gonna try to post like weekly Steam updates that chronicle all the stuff that I did. But overall, the updates happen a little more frequently, and they're a little smaller. So watch for that. But thank you guys for hanging out. Let's go see what's... if you want to hang out and see somebody play Doomtrooper, we can go check out Matano. Otherwise, I may or may not stream a little this week. I will definitely be back on Sunday. So join Discord. Help me figure out how to make the game better, how to improve matchmaking. I mean, it's a big problem. You know, how do I have people in casual mode, ranked mode, and a new special event mode where you merge the decks and not have them separated and unable to find an opponent? So please bring your suggestions to Discord. And
on that note,
Zoom tight.
thank you.
We'll go see what Matano's up to.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, and be nice to Matano. He's a nice young man.
Nice Italian boy.
Mm-hmm. Who's always playing Doomtrooper, which I appreciate. All right,
Bye.
see you guys.